everyone, welcome back to Body Haven Soaps. My name is Darlene. I am the owner and creator of Body Haven Soaps, and the whole goal of this channel is to help fellow creators create. Today we are going to be making the Luxe conditioner bar to match the Lather Luxe shampoo bar that I did a video on the other day, so that you guys have both recipes for the shampoo and conditioner for the rice bar. So that's today's video. Before we get into the video, I just want to say you guys' comments and things like that, they're so inspirational. You have no idea how much that means to me. You know, lots of you that have been keeping up with, you know, the way things are going. It's been a rough road. But however, you know, there's one thing I always told my kids: you don't fail till you give up. And I'm just not ready to fail yet. And your guys' comments of, you know, genuine comments of support and believing in me really means the world to me. So just a huge thank you to all of you that have been liking my videos, subscribing to my channel, and helping me, you know, slowly grow. I'm not a big channel by any means. However, I enjoy providing this content. I enjoy this community. It's been a huge boost for me, and it is part of the reason I keep pushing. So once again, thank you. All right, so now let's get into the video, okay? So I did make the rice shampoo bar, the Lather Luxe, the other day. And this is the Luxe conditioner bar. Now, it is a rice conditioner bar, so kind of follows the same kind of pattern with the micronized rice starch. And then it's got the same kind of additives, but we're just making it into a conditioner bar to match that set. All right, so we might as well just get right into the recipe. Okay, so as always, guys, I'm just getting my apron and my gloves on. So as always, I have everything measured out for you guys to speed this recipe up, because I like to talk a lot, but I just try to educate you on the things that I'm creating. So conditioner bars are fairly simple to make. We just vary the formula to match, you know, what it is we're looking to bring to the product. It's kind of like formulating everything. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to melt my meltdown products into a double boiler. So we'll start putting this recipe together. So we are going to put in 180 grams of the BTMS 50. Now, you can't substitute this with BTMS 25. I get that question a lot. They are totally two different products. Therefore, you would have to reformulate this recipe. So this formulation is for the BTMS 50 and 180 grams. And I'm just going to put this into my container here to be melted down. And then we have 180 grams of the cetyl alcohol, okay? And this does bring some conditioning properties and help solidify the bar. I really like this product in my conditioner bars. If you guys have noticed, I use it in a bunch of my different recipes for conditioner bars. I just find that it adds that silk to the hair. I've tried many different recipes, and this is one of my ingredients that will never come out of my conditioner bars. So 180 grams. And then I have mango butter. Now, I will switch between shea and mango depending what I'm trying to bring. This here with the rice, I really like. I've tried it with the shea butter. I just find mango butter just works better in this recipe. But you could substitute other butters and do smaller batches and do some tests. But the butters is something that's interchangeable. I prefer mango butter in this recipe, but I mean, you could make mango butter into a horsetail butter. You could do many things with it. I do have a video on infusing herbs into butters, if you want to go back and watch that. So I have 90 grams of mango butter. And then first, I'm going to use jojoba oil in here. Now, jojoba oil is really a good product for the hair. I just find that it doesn't leave a greasy residue. It absorbs well. Not that this is a wash-off product, so you're not getting a huge amount of it, but it really helps with not having that oily scalp or anything. So anybody that has oily hair, jojoba oil, recipes with jojoba oil in it are great for that. It's got some scalp health in it, and it's really close to the own sebum of our skin. Okay, so I have 90 grams of jojoba oil. And I'm just going to simply set this into my double boiler and let this slowly melt down, and then I'll bring you guys back. Now, I choose not to do, you could do this in a microwave and stuff. I choose not to do it that way because of the mango butter, and I'm trying not to get my product to an extremely high temperature. The problem with a microwave is that you're going to get hot spots throughout. It breaks down the properties of the oils and changes the molecular structure of oils and fats and things. So this is why I don't really care to use the microwave. I prefer to use a double boiler, but you absolutely can do this in the microwave. Okay guys, we've got all of this melted down. And what temperature do we have it at? 195 Fahrenheit. Now, you've got to check your temperature for your preservatives, things like that. We can't add them too soon because it will deteriorate the function of it when we add in our ingredients. I add in, like I did in my shampoo bar, plant keratin. We don't want to add that in too hot. The rice starch and things like that, that's going to break down and be okay in there, but there is some additives like our preservatives, things like that, that we don't want to be putting in too hot of a temperature. Okay, so I have D-L-panthenol powder, which is a vitamin B5 powder that's known for the hair. Works fabulous. It does kind of like to chunk up, so I just like to break it up and kind of dissolve it prior to adding it into my formula. But I have this weighed out, and I have 9 grams that I'm just going to break up into here and add a few other things to kind of try and dissolve it a bit so I don't have lumps and things like that. Because if you've worked with this, you know it likes to lump up on you. Okay, so simply break that up. I have 10 grams of distilled water that I'm going to add in here to try and start breaking this down and dissolving it. And I just use a little mixer to get it all dissolved in there. And we'll just keep going, adding our stuff in. So I have my plant keratin. And the plant keratin, I have 1 gram, so a small amount. A little goes a long way with this. And I also have this in the rice shampoo bar. And I just get mine from Windy Points, but there's many places you can get it from. Okay, I also have my rice starch. So the star of our star ingredient here. So rice starch. And remember when I said in the shampoo bar, the rice starch is better than rice flour. Okay, rice flour is ground up rice. Rice starch is actually rice that's been soaked and extracted and then the liquid dehydrated, so you don't get that pasty residue in your hair. I've tried both. Rice starch is the way to go. Okay, and with the rice starch, I have 10 grams. I also have silk amino acids, and I have 12 grams of the silk amino acid. And I find with the silk amino acids, I add that a lot to my conditioner bars. I find it leaves a really nice feel on the hair afterwards. And I've done recipes with and without it to test it. It's a small amount, but it makes a huge difference. So 12 grams. We already have our DL panthenol in there. The fragrance I am going to use is going to be the oat milk and honey, which I get from, I get it from Windy Points, but you can get it from wherever. And I have 0.5 grams. You don't need a lot of fragrance oil in a high wax concentration. It will smell amazing. Okay, and then I have our Optimum Plus as our preservative, and that is going to be 0.5 grams as well. Now, there is a small amount of water in this bar, so we need to add a preservative, but this bar is introduced to water on a regular basis. Okay, so that's our additives. I'm just going to get this all mixed into a paste almost, so it's all dissolved. Get everything off the edges here. And you just want it to be all uniform, no lumps or anything, so that all of your powders, like your starches and your DL panthenol, you're not having big chunks in your conditioner bar. You've got it all blended really well. So just make sure you take the time to do that, because the chunks just feel horrible when you get into there. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, once we add this in there, we do need to move fairly quick, because this bar does like to set up very quickly. Check our temperature, make sure it's where, so we got to let this cool a couple more minutes, because we don't want to kill our preservative or break down any of our additions into here. It's still a little too warm to add the preservative. So depending on what preservative you use, make sure you check the manufacturer's directions on the maximum temperature you can add it at, so that your preservative stays active. So we're going to let that cool for a couple more minutes. In the meantime, I have my little molds here. And this is what I will be pouring into. And as soon as this cools down enough, I'll bring you guys right back. Okay guys, we are below the 150 Fahrenheit. So I am going to add in my other ingredients, and you'll see how fast this solidifies. You may, as the temperature drops, have to set this back in your double boiler to loosen it up a bit to pour. So keep that in mind. I have my double boiler still going, just on the safety side. I also do like to put these in the freezer immediately after pouring. So I have a spot ready in my freezer to set these so they solidify quickly and everything stays suspended in there. So you're simply going to add all this goodness in there, and you can see how that solidifies really quickly. So you may need to put this back in your double boiler, but you're going to stir, make sure this all dissolves. So just make sure you keep stirring it until all those lumps, because as soon as you pour that stuff in there, it turns lumpy. So you want to make sure that you stir it until all those lumps are dissolved. And then we're just going to pour this into our molds. I overfilled this one slightly, so I'm just going to pull a little bit out. Now I'm going to place these in the freezer, let them set up, and I'll bring you back and I'll show you what they look like when they're unmolded. Okay, so I pulled them out of the freezer. I kind of slopped this one a little bit, so this one will be my conditioner bar because I dumped a whole bunch of it, spilt when I was putting it in the freezer. That's okay. I will keep all these pieces and I will use them myself because it is expensive ingredients. So I do tend to keep all the little pieces, and that's what I use. So these molds are kind of round edges. I really like these ones. But simply with these ones, you just release it like so. And simply pop your bars out. And this is what they look like. The little pieces fall off and they're quite nice. Now, once I have these made, I do allow them to dry for about 3 days, just because we did put a little water in there before I package, simply because I do not want my customers to get something that readily dissolves too quickly in their hands. The benefit of a conditioner bar is the fact that we're using a small amount to make a big difference. So, you know, when you buy the bottled conditioners and stuff, first of all, we have all the plastic waste. Second of all, we tend to use way more conditioner in our hair than we actually need to. So if you are using the bottled stuff, less is more. But this allows us to control the amount. I lather it in my hand and you'll see like a conditioner start to release off of there. But you can also run these conditioner bars through your hair, whatever works easiest for you. As I said, I save all these little flakes for myself. Okay. And that is how easy that is. Sorry, I had to change the light settings there. You guys couldn't even see. So this is what the Luxe Rice shampoo or conditioner bars look like. You can see they're solid conditioner bars. They work awesome. You get a nice lather from them where you'll start to see conditioner just rubbing in your hand, or like I say, you can run this through your hair. So this recipe makes 8 of these bars. Now, depending on what mold you use, what size you're making them, will determine how much. So do your calculations. I do have a video that I've previously done where you can go figure out your calculations. It shows you how. All right. So you guys, this is just the conditioner bar that goes with my rice shampoo bar. It is simple yet very luxurious. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.